I'm going to start sharing stories about my experience in the television and the film industry. Now, I have over 30 years of experience, so I have plenty of stories to tell. Some of the highlights are going to include stories such as helping to launch the Warner Brothers network, helping to transition TNN into a new network, which was then was to be known as Spike TV. I worked with the MTV founders, going to New York every Tuesday to do some of that brand strategy. Some of the other stories that will center around celebrities such as Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jeff Dunham, Bill Engvall, just to name a few of those celebrities. And I'll just probably start from the very beginning just to let you know how I even got in the business, and then I'll walk through the various stages of my career and the various projects that I've worked on, and share some stories along the way. So the first part of that would be just how did I get involved in television? Well, I actually majored in interior design. I kept though thinking when I graduated that if I took a job in interior design, I could maybe go over and get a job in television. And I kept asking myself, why are you thinking this? If you're thinking of going ahead and starting in interior design, do interior design. But I couldn't get it out of my mind. So I went ahead and decided to pick up the phone and to call the local television station where I lived, which was in Lexington, Kentucky. That station was WKYT TV, Channel 27. And I thought I would ask PM Magazine, which was a show on that station at the time, I'd ask PM Magazine if they would let me intern there and work there. And the answer was yes. However, you need to take a class to protect you insurance-wise so that you can come here and work as an intern with us. So I decided I would go back for one more semester and take a class at the University of Kentucky as an internship, and then I would go and see if I really did like television, if that was something I wanted to do, and I would easily know and have that resolved. So I started working as an intern with PM Magazine, and I would spend 40 hours at least there each week learning the craft of television. So I learned to edit, I learned all about production, I learned about the details with script writing and what made a national story and what didn't make a national story. I perfected all of those skills as much as possible, and at the end of that semester, it so happened that one of the girls working there, she was leaving on maternity leave, and she was the office manager. So they asked me if I would be willing to take her position while she was gone. That would be at least 3 months, and then when she came back, then we'd see what would happen then. So I just asked if I could have 1 month prior to her leaving, and then 1 month after she got back. That would give me 5 months there, and then I would do it. So my very first job that I took was a job actually replacing the office manager and taking care of handling all of the scheduling for the productions and organizing what's called ins and outs, which are introductions to a story, and then coming out of a story on the show there would be an outro. So I would organize all of that in locations that we would shoot each week. So during that period of time, I started working with some of the producers to help them write stories, help them research stories, and in essence I pretty much did the whole project for them, and really was able to figure out how to write stories and get them on the air, and all of listening to the national office out in Los Angeles, I believe it was, or San Francisco. It was in California, listening to the national office as far as what they were wanting us to say and do. And while I was there, I became really so so instrumental in the production and the process that they really didn't want me to leave. So when the gal came back to take her position, they just created another position for her within the television station, and I was able to keep the position that I'd taken on. Now, over and above doing the office manager job, I did start producing stories. So they didn't even have to hire one of the extra producer roles that was needing to be replaced when someone left. I ended up doing that job as well. So I was doing two jobs in one person, one job. So that was really fun. I worked with the Junior Miss America, which was Lydia Hodson, and Sam Dick was also the host at that time. Now he is back anchoring the main anchor position at Channel 27. He's been doing that for a number of years. So we had a great group, and we were making a lot of stories happen, and a lot of them were going national, and I had a couple of national stories myself during that time, that phase. I believe one of them was I Live with 11 Ghosts. That was one of the stories that went national. I think another one was the story that I did on iridology. I was looking for a lot of interesting stories to do, ones that I initially would have an interest in, and then it would end up being something that was nationally of interest too. So occasionally we would get national stories, and we would get bonuses when a story went national. So those are just a few of the stories just from that early start that I had coming out of college and taking my first job and getting my feet wet in television production and television producing. And the next video I'll share a little bit about how I even felt like I had the talent or the skills to even do that kind of role, because there is a history that I had in various productions in different kinds of levels and different kinds of areas. But I'll share a little bit about my background and creativity so that you'll know even why I was thinking the way I was thinking. So that's at least what I can share for this video, and I'll keep you plugged in for some of the other videos to come.